So why are we deceived? So there's all this stuff about fake news and all this stuff going on. Are there really that many people lying to us? Are they really deceiving us? And does it work? Well, the answer is yes. And there's two cognitive processes that we need to bring into this. The first is the availability bias. Now, cognitive processes are just understanding how the brain works. And the availability bias says the more often you hear something, the more likely you are to believe it's true, and the more common you think it is. So if there's lots of people out there saying, hey, white men are racist, then you're going to start believing that white men are racist, and if you hear it a lot, you're going to believe that all white men are racist. Now, that doesn't make it true, but the more often you hear it, the more likely you are to believe it, and the more common you think it is. And this is true for every human being. This is just how the brain works. Now, once they get you to believe something, then the second process kicks in, and this is the confirmation bias. And the confirmation bias simply says this: once you believe something to be true, you start cherry picking and you look for information that confirms that what you believe is right, and you start excluding information that disagrees with what you already believe. So if we can educate somebody to an idea early on, grade school, movies, things like this, the more we can put information out there and they start to believe it, then they start looking for something to be true, and they actually start ignoring anything that might tell them to look at something differently. Now, critical thinking is the process of taking in information. You look at all the available information and you put that up and you say, is what I already believe actually the truth? Is this a fact? Or is this something that's rooted deep in my brain that I'm not questioning? Here's the problem. Unless you are actively and consciously working to question what you already know, this action will never happen. So what many people in society are doing is they're giving us the information as early and as often as possible and hoping that we don't actually sit down and decide to consciously review the information and determine whether something is a fact. If we don't actively question, it will never happen.